Hi, this is Alex from Fukuoka Seminar, and in this video I will talk about time series analysis in Chow test. A time series is a sequence of numerical data points taken at equally spaced intervals over a period of time. It could be anything from real life, such as the average monthly temperature of Tokyo, your monthly spending, the daily closing price of a stock, and the daily US dollar to Japanese yen exchange rate, and so on. So time series analysis can be very useful to see how a given variable changes over time. We could also use information regarding a variable's historical values and patterns to predict its future activity. This is called time series forecasting, which will be covered in the next video. Now let's talk about Chow test, which is used to test if there's a statistically significant breakpoint that splits the data into two parts. You can refer to the picture over here. This means that you have a dataset and you know that there was an event, which is illustrated by the blue line here, that happened during the period of time when your data was collected, and it might have an impact on your data. For example, the donations given to an organization before and after a natural disaster, or the stock market prices before and after Black Friday. So basically, you use Chow test to see whether there's a significant difference before and after the event. You want to know whether one regression line or two separate regression lines best fit your data. So here I won't talk about the math behind it to confuse you. I'll just demonstrate how to use eViews to do a Chow test. If you're interested, however, feel free to contact me anytime and we can talk about it more. Now we open our eViews and we have a time series dataset here. So the variable named consumption here is Japan's monthly nominal consumption activity index from January 2003 to July 2020. And the variable named CPI here is short for Consumer Price Index of Japan within the same period of time. So as we've learned in macroecon, generally speaking, consumption changes with price. Therefore, we run a single linear regression here, and we see that the p-value of CPI is very low, which means that this independent variable here, CPI, is indeed useful in explaining the changes of our dependent variable consumption. Now, we know that there was a financial crisis from 2007 to 2008. We would like to see if this event will affect our dataset. So we will run a Chow test. We go to View, and here we find Chow breakpoint test. In this box, we put the time of the event that we assume is going to have an impact on our dataset. Since here we can see that our data is monthly data, so we need to specify the month. So go back to the Chow test, and I will choose September 2008 because this was the month when Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, so I assume that's going to be our breakpoint. You can change the time and play it around to see the result will be different. And now we have our result of our Chow test. We can see the F statistic here and the p-value of the F test. The p-value is below 0.05, indicating that we reject the null hypothesis here. Therefore, we can say that September 2008 is indeed the breakpoint. And if you want more accurate models, you might want to split the data into two parts and create different regression models for both of them.